Back to the Africa Wrap. So it's the big post-mortem after the World Cup before four African nations. Football, and what many consider underachievement on the biggest stage of all, is under the microscope, and nowhere more so than Nigeria, where the talk of an international ban due to government interference after a court sacked the Football Federation's executive committee. Well, first, let's remind ourselves about Nigeria's World Cup and the path to the last 16. Well, still in the studio with me are the journalists Cameron Duodu and John Ofeansa. I want to talk about Nigeria. It wasn't a bad result for Nigeria, but of course under FIFA the rules are that a National Football Association must not be subject to government control. It's not looking good for Nigeria, is it, John? Well,
it's not. I mean, so that with the dissolution of the Nigerian Football Association by the government or the court, I mean, they face a ban, international ban by FIFA. But I saw it coming. I mean, a lot of us football fans, the followers of African football, saw it coming because before they went to Brazil, I had it on an authoritative source, one of my good sources, that when the government gave them the money for the footballers, can I say per diem, appearance fees, somebody called or the Nigerian football officials and asked, look, when are you guys coming to join us in Holland? Yeah. And so, sorry, we are sharing money. So if, say, if they were giving, say, $10,000 for the players, right, they will skim some of the money and then go and declare a lesser amount to the players. And that isn't fair. Yes, it's an honor and a privilege to play for your country. But we live in a modern age, in a modern technical age. Most of these players ply their trade in Europe.
But should the government, Cameron, get involved? Do you think they should retract to, excuse the pun, the sidelines? I mean, it's not the first time this has happened. This happened in 2010 when they were threatened.
Well, FIFA is not a very realistic entity. There is no way that you can organize a World Cup without the whole nation, and I mean the whole nation, getting involved. And to leave the administration, the servicing of the players, entirely in the hands of football officials elected by the local clubs, who may not have the expertise in man management, in accountancy, and who may not be people of very good character in terms of money.
They have until Tuesday to reverse this decision. Do you think that they should retract it? Because at the end of the day, you know, FIFA are threatening an international ban. That could really hurt Nigeria at a time when there's so much chaos and bloodshed in a country. Surely they need to have some good news coming out of it. And if their football team is banned internationally, what hope do they have?
That is absolutely true. I think they have used a blunt instrument. They should play FIFA's game by working in a way that the FA can be removed without the government's hand being seen. But there is absolutely no problem with the fact that the whole nation is involved. Look, in Ghana, somebody said that we have 25 million coaches. In Nigeria, they would have 170 million. Because if you pick player A and put him in this position, somebody else will say, why didn't you put so-and-so there? And whenever a player plays badly on the field, all sorts of motivations will be found out, you know. So there is a tension, a major tension between the local football associations and FIFA. And FIFA must learn how to deal with it.
Within Africa, football is not just a sport, it's a religion. In fact, it's actually probably a language in itself. You can go to the remotest part of Africa, there's no running water, there's no electricity, but everybody can talk football, doesn't matter where you're from. If we look at the nations of Cameroon and Ghana, they've also been blighted by some really serious allegations. So you have alleged corrupt, I think it's Cameroon was alleged match fixing, as well as the issue of cash, and with Ghana with poor performance that the government is looking into. What does Africa need to do to kind of get their footballers into shape?
Yeah, that was a point I was coming to in my earlier contribution, that it's a privilege and an honor to represent your country at any level in sports.
And let's not forget that many of these players are earning vast sums of money, far more than a lot of their fans living in those host nations.
Yeah, and you know that most of these ply their trades abroad. They are billionaires in their own right? And the egos are massive. So it's up to it's down to the football authorities in our home countries, Ghana, Nigeria, or in Africa, to know how to manage and massage such egos. After all, if he plays for his country, right, and breaks a leg or sustains a serious knee injury, he'll be out for long time and starts to lose maybe some bonuses that he might have otherwise get from his club.
So don't forget this, that the footballers watch the spending patterns of the officials. Now, they are playing and putting their lucrative careers at risk. And yet, an official will sit in business class in an aircraft and put players in the economy class. Or they will have better hotels, or they will carry their families, some of them, with them. So they watch these things and they say, what is this? We have a proverb in Africa called, monkey they walk, baboon they chop. Monkey they walk, baboon they chop.
Okay, that's your